How to pass ATI TEAS 7 Math. Question 1. During a task at the recreation center, a student team is reviewing practice syringes. Evaluate the numerical expression 26 plus 8 times 3. Which value results? Option A, 50. Option B, 102. Option C, 37. Option D, 211. The correct answer is option A, 50. Multiplication has priority over addition in the standard order of operations. Parentheses would be required to make the addition occur first. Compute the product before combining it with the remaining term. For the student team's record at the recreation center, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for practice syringes. Question 2. At the blood minus donation drive, a student team reviews quantities involving study packets with the organizing stage. A process completes 126 units in 6 hours. What is the average rate per hour? Option A is 0 units per hour. Option B is 756 units per hour. Option C is 21 units per hour. Option D 120 units per hour. The correct answer is option C, 21 units per hour. Multiplication would describe a larger total rather than the amount completed during a single hour. A rate compares quantities measured in different units. Divide the total number of units by the elapsed time so the denominator becomes 1 hour. For the student team's record at the blood minus donation drive, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for study packets. Question 3. A planning sheet from the student tutoring lab lists information about sample containers, with the student team handling the counting stage. Evaluate minus 21 minus 5. Option A 26. Option B minus 16. Option C minus 25. Option D minus 26. The correct answer is option D, minus 26. This rewrite helps prevent losing a negative sign when two signs appear together. Change the subtraction to addition, reverse the sign of the second number, and apply the signed minus number rules. Subtracting an integer can be rewritten as adding its opposite. For the student team's record at the student tutoring lab, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for sample containers. Stressed about your ATI TEAS? We can take ATI TEAS for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. While working in the outpatient reception desk, a student team must calculate a value for appointment cards with the converting stage. A rectangle has a perimeter of 76 centimeters and a length of 16 centimeters. What is its width? Option A, 60 centimeters. Option B, 2.4 centimeters. Option C, 22 centimeters. Option D, 54 centimeters. The correct answer is option C, 22 centimeters. The rectangle perimeter formula counts each length and each width twice. Divide the perimeter by 2 to obtain one length minus plus minus width pair, then subtract the known length. Subtracting the length from the full perimeter would leave 3 sides rather than one width. For the student team's record at the outpatient reception desk, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for appointment cards. Question 5. The college print shop uses a record to track boxes of gloves, with the student team handling the grouping stage. A scale drawing uses 1 inch. To represent 3 feet, a length measures 12 inches. On the drawing, what is the actual length? Option A, 36 feet. Option B, 432 feet. Option C, 15 feet. Option D, 4.0 feet. The correct answer is option A, 36 feet. Multiply the drawing measurement by the actual amount represented by each drawing unit. A scale drawing creates a proportional relationship between drawing length and actual length. Dividing would be appropriate when converting an actual length back to the smaller drawing. For the student team's record at the college print shop, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for boxes of gloves. Question 6. For a project in the wellness seminar, a student team is preparing nutrition labels. Estimate 48 plus 73 plus 36 by rounding each addend to the nearest 10. Option A, 157. Option B, 200. Option C, 160. Option D, 120. The correct answer is option C, 160. Estimation simplifies the addends before calculation to obtain a nearby, reasonable total. The estimate should be close to the exact total but is not expected to match it in every case. Round each value to the requested place and add the rounded numbers. For the student team's record at the wellness seminar, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for nutrition labels. Question 7. A report prepared at the Supply Distribution Center summarizes data about measuring cups, with the student team handling the reviewing stage. There are 6 boxes with 15 units each. After 7 units are used and 3 loose units are added, how many units are available? Option A, 17. Option B, 51. Option C, 86. Option D, 94. The correct answer is option C, 86. Multiply the number of boxes by the units per box, subtract the amount used, and then include the loose additions. Applying the subtraction inside every box would remove the used amount repeatedly instead of once. The grouped inventory must be calculated before later increases or decreases are applied. For the student team's record at the Supply Distribution Center, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for measuring cups. Question 8. Before an activity at the local museum, a student team checks the amount of training manuals, with the organizing stage. Which ratio is equivalent to 8:6? Option A, 24:32. Option B, 32:24. Option C, 12:10. Option D, 32:30. The correct answer is option B, 32:24. Adding the same amount to both terms does not generally preserve the ratio. Equivalent ratios preserve the same multiplicative relationship between their terms. Multiply or divide both parts by the same non-zero factor. For the student team's record at the local museum, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for training manuals. Are you looking for ATI TEAS actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access ATI TEAS study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get ATI TEAS answer key today. Question 9. The student team at the meal-prep class is responsible for counting water bottles. Which value is equivalent to 10 to the power of 5th? Option A, 50. Option B, 100,000. Option C, 10,000. Option D, 9765625. The correct answer is option B, 100,000. The exponent counts factors rather than serving as a multiplier. Expand the power as repeated multiplication by 10 to determine its place value. A power of 10 is 1 followed by as many zeros as the exponent indicates. For the student team's record at the meal-prep class, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for water bottles. Question 10. A worksheet used in the community theater contains measurements for first-aid kits, with the student team handling the measuring stage. What is the slope of the line through 1, 2, and 3, 8? Option A, 3. Option B, 4. Option C, 6. Option D is 0.3. The correct answer is option A, 3. Slope compares vertical change with horizontal change between 2 points. Subtract the y- coordinates in the same order as the x- coordinates and divide the changes. Reversing only one subtraction changes the sign, while reversing both leaves the ratio unchanged. For the student team's record at the community theater, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for first-aid kits. Question 11. As part of a routine check at the conference registration desk, a student team examines bus passes, with the inspecting stage. Using 3.14 for pi, what is the area of a circle with radius 8 inches? Option A, 50.24 square inches. Option B, 200.96 square inches. Option C, 25.12 square inches. Option D, 803.84 square inches. The correct answer is option B, 200.96 square inches. Multiply the radius by itself and then by pi. Circle area depends on the square of the radius. Using diameter in place of radius without adjustment makes the computed area 4 times too large. For the student team's record at the conference registration desk, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for bus passes. Question 12. A supply request from the day-care supply closet includes several entries for poster boards, with the student team handling the preparing stage. The values are 14, 16, 16, 19, 21, 16. What is the mode? Option A, 18. Option B, 16. Option C, 17. Option D is 7. The correct answer is option B, 16. The mode is the value appearing most frequently. A dataset can have no mode or more than one mode, but this set has one clear repeated value. Count the occurrences of each distinct value and identify the greatest frequency. For the student team's record at the day-care supply closet, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for poster boards. Question 13. The public transit hub is preparing for an event that uses lab trays, with the student team handling the reviewing stage. A purchase subtotal is $75 and sales tax is 6%. What is the total after tax? Option A, $4.50. Option B, $81. Option C, $69. Option D is $79.50. The correct answer is option D, $79.50. Multiply the subtotal by the tax rate to find the tax, then add that amount to the subtotal. The final total should exceed the subtotal but by much less than the full price when the rate is small. Sales tax is added as a percentage of the taxable subtotal. For the student team's record at the public transit hub, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for lab trays. Question 14. A student team creates a calculation for storage bins at the emergency preparedness class, with the organizing stage. What is 40% of 200? Option A, 240. Option B, 500. Option C, 80. Option D, 160. The correct answer is option C, 80. The resulting part should be smaller than the whole whenever the rate is below 100%. A percent of a quantity is found by multiplying the whole by the rate written as a decimal. Move the decimal point 2 places left in the percent and multiply by the reference amount. For the student team's record at the emergency preparedness class, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for storage bins. Question 15. Information collected in the patient education office describes how classroom chairs are being used, with the student team handling the counting stage. Convert 60 degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. Round to the nearest tenth if needed. Option A, 33.3 degrees Celsius. Option B, 50.4 degrees Celsius. Option C, 15.6 degrees Celsius. Option D, 51.1 degrees Celsius. The correct answer is option C, 15.6 degrees Celsius. Applying the scale before removing the offset changes the reference point and produces an incorrect temperature. Subtract the offset and multiply the difference by 5 minus ninths. Fahrenheit minus to minus Celsius conversion removes the 30 minus 2 minus degree offset before riscaling the interval. For the student team's record at the patient education office, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for classroom chairs. Question 16. A schedule at the campus greenhouse includes a numerical condition involving survey forms, with the student team handling the comparing stage. Solve 2x plus 5 37. Option A, x less than 32. Option B, x greater than 15. Option C, x greater than 16. Option D, x less than 16. The correct answer is option D, x less than 16. An inequality is solved with the same inverse operations used for equations. Keep the inequality direction when adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing by a positive value. The direction reverses only when both sides are multiplied or divided by a negative number. For the student team's record at the campus greenhouse, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for survey forms. Question 17. The student team compares two records about workbooks in the sports equipment room with the packing stage. A cylinder has radius 3 inches and height 8 inches. Using 3.14 for pi, what is its volume? Option A, 226.08 cubic inches. Option B, 28.26 cubic inches. Option C, 75.36 cubic inches. Option D, 150.72 cubic inches. The correct answer is option A, 226.08 cubic inches. Square the radius, multiply by pi, and then multiply by the height. Cylinder volume equals the area of the circular base multiplied by height. Circumference times height would describe a lateral surface rather than the space inside. For the student team's record at the sports equipment room, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for workbooks. Question 18. A quality check in the technology lab requires a calculation involving name badges, with the student team handling the preparing stage. A line graph shows values 12, 16, 19, 17, 22 across 5 periods. During which interval is the increase greatest? Option A, period 3 to period 4. Option B, period 2 to period 3. Option C, period 1 to period 2. Option D, period 4 to period 5. The correct answer is option D, period 4 to period 5. The steepest upward segment corresponds to the largest positive change between consecutive points. The highest point identifies a maximum level, not necessarily the interval with the fastest increase. Subtract each earlier value from the next value and compare the 4 changes. For the student team's record at the technology lab, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for name badges. Stressed about your ATI TEAS? We can take ATI TEAS for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. The charity fundraiser has set a target related to digital thermometers, with the student team handling the reviewing stage. A trip covers 150 miles in 5 hours. What is the average speed? Option A, 750 miles per hour. Option B, 145 miles per hour. Option C, 0 miles per hour. Option D, 30 miles per hour. The correct answer is option D, 30 miles per hour. Use miles as the numerator and hours as the denominator to form the rate. The unit label should be miles per hour, not total miles. Average speed is the total distance divided by total time. For the student team's record at the charity fundraiser, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for digital thermometers. Question 20. A student team uses a table to monitor supply cartons at the nutrition workshop, with the organizing stage. A measurement of 3 2/5 units is increased by March 5th unit. What is the new measurement? Option A, 4. Option B, 2 1/25. Option C, 2 4/5. Option D, 1 1/5. The correct answer is option A, 4. The final form should be simplified and written as a mixed number when its magnitude exceeds 1. Mixed numbers can be combined reliably after conversion to improper fractions or by adding whole and fractional parts separately. Use a common denominator for the fractional parts, combine the values, and regroup any fraction greater than 1. For the student team's record at the nutrition workshop, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for supply cartons. Question 21. An activity log from the water-quality project contains values for meal portions, with the student team handling the measuring stage. A package of 12 identical items costs $36. What is the cost per item? Option A, $2.77. Option B, $432. Option C, $24. Option D, $3. The correct answer is option D, $3. Multiplying the quantities would produce a value that grows with the package size instead of reducing it to 1 unit. Divide the total cost by the number of identical items in the package. A unit rate expresses the cost for exactly 1 item. For the student team's record at the water-quality project, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for meal portions. Question 22. The student team is revising a plan for index cards in the school newspaper office, with the comparing stage. Evaluate 6x plus 7 when x equals 7. Option A, KD4. Option B, 49. Option C, 35. Option D, 20. The correct answer is option B, 49. Evaluating an expression means replacing the variable with its given value. Substitute the value using parentheses, complete multiplication, and then combine the constant term. Following the order of operations prevents the substitution from being added before multiplication. For the student team's record at the school newspaper office, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for index cards. Question 23. A short report from the Community Art Studio presents a mathematical problem involving folders, with the student team handling the packing stage. A triangular panel has a base of 8 centimeters and a perpendicular height of 9 centimeters. What is its area? Option A, 36 square centimeters. Option B is 17 square centimeters. Option C, 72 square centimeters. Option D, 8.5 square centimeters. The correct answer is option A, 36 square centimeters. Multiply the base by the height and divide the product by 2. A triangle occupies half the area of a rectangle with the same base and perpendicular height. Using the slanted side in place of the perpendicular height would not measure the correct surface. For the student team's record at the Community Art Studio, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for folders. Question 24. The job-training program must adjust its plan for tickets, with the student team handling the distributing stage. A data display contains 26, 20, 25, 29. What is the average value? Option A 25.5, option B 100, option C 9, option D 25.0. The correct answer is option D, 25.0. An average balances the total equally across all observations. The average should remain within the observed minimum and maximum. Add the displayed values and divide by the number of entries. For the student team's record at the job-training program, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for tickets. Question 25. A calculation is needed before exercise bands can be prepared at the housing office, with the student team handling the reviewing stage. Round 670.08 to the nearest tenth? Option A, 670.3. Option B, 670.1. Option C, 670.0. Option D is 670.2. The correct answer is option B, 670.1. Increase the target digit when the neighboring digit is 5 or more, otherwise leave it unchanged. All digits to the right are then removed or replaced with zeros according to place value. Rounding uses the digit immediately to the right of the requested place. For the student team's record at the housing office, the final selection should preserve the stated unit or mathematical form for exercise bands.